All right, back once again. So, hey, howdy, this is Dan. That's my weird, it looks better than me actually. But here's the key. Let me get that right in the camera there. You can pause it, get those colors and things. But as we continue in Colossians chapter 1, this is verse 11. We've been going from 9 and 10 as this is kind of a flowing thought. And so from the day we heard, starting verse 9, we have not ceased to pray for you, asking that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all spiritual wisdom and understanding, so as to walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing to him, bearing fruit in every good work, increasing in the knowledge of God, may be strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to the Father who qualified you to share in the inheritance of the saints in his light. So maybe we'll get through 11 and 12. May you be strengthened in all power. Obviously, that power would be from the Lord. And I got to think, do I want to underline that in blue, or do I want to really highlight the word in blue, because the emphasis is when it's actually in the letters themselves. But I think I'm gonna say, I don't know. It's hard to, again, you can choose one way or the other. Boy, I'm having a hard time thinking which way I want to go, because I want to go red and blue on this, because it's strengthened with all powers is something that we need to be looking for in our lives, seeking to be increasing. But this is something God is doing. And so thinking about it, I'm probably going to emphasize the blue here, because Paul's praying, and that may be underlined there, but strengthened with all power according to his glorious might. So according to his glorious might. So the according to makes me think of the truth, the way it happens. That's what it goes on. So according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy. Again, this is where the emphasis kind of goes more to us now, for all endurance, patience with joy. But he's also doing this in us, as we'll look, but for all endurance and patience with joy, as he continues to work that. Again, I go through this verse again and again, strengthened with all power according to his glorious might. And I may even do a little orange there, under his glorious might. Oh, and I forgot to underline the may you be, because it's still praying like Paul, but for all endurance and patience with joy. And then we need to be still giving thanks. So giving thanks to the Father who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of the saints in light. So he, again, this is the emphasis, he has done this, who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of the saints in light. But at the same time, this is a truth for what has happened. So who has qualified you? So this is truth for us too. It's what God is doing, but it also affects our lives. So the orange is underlining there. And so then, as you go through that, I would also be looking at the discipleship counseling aspect of that, where you may be strengthened with all power, all his power, according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to the Father who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of the saints in his light. Because we're not alone in this. This is something we're together in, and that's an amazing thing, that we don't have to live alone. It's an awesome thing God has done to give us the strength through this knowledge of his will with all spiritual wisdom, so that we're walking in that manner worthy, pleasing him, bearing fruit, working and increasing in that knowledge, but then strengthened with that power, with his glorious might, so that we have endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to the Father. I mean, you see Paul's thinking process as you go through it, but I think without coloring this in for myself, I wouldn't necessarily take note of those things. You just they become Christian white noise in some ways, because you just hear those kind of things, but stopping and chewing on it for a little bit just makes it that much more powerful. So that's what, verse 11 and 12. And we'll finish up this section in the next one in verse 13. But anyways, hey, love you guys. Have a good one. God bless.